This week we've been talking about Passion Week and the events that led Jesus to the cross and how we can incorporate that as a part of our family discipleship. So today we want to talk about Friday. What happened on Friday?
Yes, a lot happened on Friday. Early Friday morning, a mob came to arrest Jesus. Peter tried to defend Jesus and cut off a soldier's ear, but Jesus stopped this and healed the soldier's ear. The disciples escaped as Jesus was arrested for his illegal trial to occur in secret. Very early on this Friday morning, in the middle of the night, Judas is with them and betrays Jesus with a kiss to point out he is the one they were looking for. This trial is illegal. It's not in compliance with their laws by being in the middle of the night. The religious leaders, the Sanhedrin, gather a select group of Jesus' enemies and bring false witnesses against him. But in case they didn't have enough to find Jesus guilty, Jesus seals his fate when they ask him directly if he is the Messiah, the Son of God. Jesus very specifically says, "It is as you said, and hereafter you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power and coming on the clouds of heaven," which is a direct reference to Daniel's prophecy of the Messiah. The high priest tore his clothes and found him guilty based on what they felt was a blasphemous confession. During this time, Peter is asked 3 times if he is an associate of Jesus, and Peter says 3 times that he is not. He doesn't know Jesus at all. Jesus is sent to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor of the region, because the Sanhedrin wanted the death penalty, and only the Roman government could order that. Pontius Pilate had a reputation for being very obstinate. He didn't kowtow to anyone. So when the religious authority asked for the death penalty, he wasn't going to just be told what to do. Plus, Pilate's wife told him about a dream she had about Jesus and warned him that she had a bad feeling about this. And you better have nothing to do with this situation. Pilate rejected the Sanhedrin's request and sent Jesus to Herod as Herod's problem. This is his jurisdiction. Herod was a bit of an odd fellow that wanted Jesus to entertain him with miracles like some kind of magic show. When Jesus wouldn't accommodate him, Herod sent him back to Pilate. Pilate had a problem because the Sanhedrin had stirred up a hornet's nest of Jesus' enemies who might riot if they don't get their way. And Pilate at this time was already skating on thin ice with his superiors about his harsh and obstinate ruling that had caused some disturbances in the past. Everybody was just trying to keep things calm. Pilate wanted to show that he was the ultimate ruler of this area and didn't answer to these religious Jewish zealots in the Sanhedrin. But he didn't want to riot either, which could happen from Jesus' enemies if he denied their request for execution, and could happen from Jesus' followers when word spread that Jesus was executed. Pilate no doubt was aware that Jesus entered the city to a huge parade just a few days prior. So it was Pilate's tradition to release a political prisoner to the Jewish people. So he offered Jesus or Barabbas in hopes that the choice of Barabbas would be bad enough to choose Jesus and everybody would just go home. But they chose Barabbas to be released. Pilate washed his hands to signify that any blame should be placed on the Sanhedrin, and he gave them what they wanted. Pilate ordered Jesus to be crucified. Crucifixion was a particularly brutal way to die. They beat you within an inch of your life, literally, and then displayed you on a cross for days as you slowly died of shock from the severe beating and whipping. Jesus must have been beaten pretty severely because he was on the cross for a relatively short time by crucifixion standards. 6 hours, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At noon, darkness covered the land. During this time on the cross, Jesus forgives his accusers and executioners, witnesses to the thief being crucified beside him, commits his mother to his disciple John's care, and gives his last words, "It is finished. It is accomplished. Into your hands I commit my spirit." Jesus, as the perfect, unblemished Passover lamb, was sacrificed for the sins of the world. Joseph of Arimathea asked for Jesus' body and buries Jesus in his tomb. What happened? Everybody's in shock. But Jesus would give evidence of what just happened in just a few days.
Join us as we continue down this path to Resurrection Sunday.